Salutations, friends. It's your pal, said Stevie. And today I have for your viewing pleasure from Sheildon Knives. This is the Scythe prototype. This comes to me from the Apex Pass Around group. Shout out to the Apex Pass Around group. Appreciate being able to check out cool little knives like this and give you fine folks my thoughts and opinions. So, again, shout out to Apex Pass Around group. So, what is the Scythe? The Scythe is a budget folding Pikal self defense knife. This is a design collaboration between Tier 1 Gear Reviews and Old Squirrel Knives based on their more premium, much larger fixed blade version of the same name, the Scythe. This is just a little guy. I want to get a couple of size comparisons out of the way. Here it is up against the Spyderco Para 3 and the Benchmade Mini Griptilian. So you can see much smaller than the Para 3 and about the same overall length as the Mini Griptilian, kind of even the same blade length. But I can assure you it is a much smaller knife than both of those. I do not have the full specs. I just have the materials. This is a 154 cm stone-washed blade, black micarta. It looks more like G10 and it's slick. It doesn't have a lot of texturing to it, but it is listed as micarta. Full backspacer, deep carry pocket clip that is inset into the scale with flush fitting screws. This pocket clip is going to change, so it's going to move down slightly so it doesn't overrun the butt of the knife, make it a little bit more comfortable. You see, I don't know what that design logo is, but I dig it. And then you see the name on there, Scythe. This is a nested steel liner lock, writing on cage ceramic bearings. Very easy access to the lock, and it is a very light blade, so it's not going to drop shut or fall shut, but it does drop to the nail. It'll shake shut and it's home. Being that you have a bunch of meat there, the knife hanging out, you can middle finger flick this. And then there is some good jimping on the flipper tab. The detent is snappy-ish, a little on the lighter side, but I got no problems with the detent at all. I like this knife, but it's a little too small for me. This knife is meant to be a self-defense knife, held in kind of a reverse grip, so you can slash and poke and all that in a self-defense type situation. You could use it for lightweight EDC tasks, which is what I have done. The only problem is this is a very thin blade, and you do have some flex to the tip. So you want to be very careful with what you're using this for. This, like I said, would be a very lightweight knife. But I have already opened a couple packages with it. It does, it's sharp. It does slice paper just fine. Well, it was slicing paper. I was testing it earlier, and it was doing just fine. But it could probably be tuned up a little bit. But yeah, it's a little too small for me. I think that someone with smaller hands would have a much better time with this knife. I have double XL hands, and so I can't get a full 4. It's a little uncomfortable. This grip right here also seems a little awkward. I mean, because there is jimping there, so I assume that it's meant to be held in a grip like this. I don't know what I would use this. I guess it's kind of a hawkbill style blade. It's too short for me to really manipulate or, be held comfortable in my hand. I could see it, in a pinch grip, being able to use the tip to, uh, like I said, I opened up a couple of packages with it. That's really the only use that I've had with this knife. I did carry it just to feel it in pocket and didn't have any problems with it, but it would be an extremely light user. As far as the self-defense goes, um, I don't, again, because it's so small, I feel I would have a hard time trying to get this out of pocket and then manipulate it within a reasonable time. By the time I've done all that, I guess if I trained with it, it might be different. But by the time I've fumbled with it, you know, time is of the essence. And if I'm in a situation where I think I need to pull a knife to defend myself, seconds count. And so I think that if this was done in a bigger version, I might consider this for me. I think this has the potential to be a much better knife for me if it were done larger. That being said, I don't have any problems with this knife as is, especially at the. They're trying to get this at a $60 to $70 price point. I think that that's good to go, and there's nothing else in this product category. Oh, there's the train coming through town. It's getting late. I should probably wrap this up, actually. 'Cause that's not going to go away now for a little bit. Let me pause just for a sec. We're just going to go with it, folks. But yeah, so if this is checking your boxes and you got kind of smaller hands and you are looking for a self-defense knife, I think that this is great. Good job, guys. This is definitely, it's nothing else like this does exist. So I think that's it's awesome. I like seeing something new to the market, something that's not currently available. And Justin over at Tier One Gear Reviews is a good dude. I don't know him really well. I've had a couple of interactions with him, but they've been working on this knife for a couple of years, and I'm stoked for them to see it come to fruition. I think that this is supposed to be available around May, so it's the beginning of April now. Hopefully, within the next month or so, you'll start seeing these. I don't have any experience with Sheildon branded knives. The only experience I have with Sheildon is when they were the OEM for the Devo Growler. Is it the Growler? Yes, the Growler. And I do know that although mine was fine, there were some QC issues with Sheildon as the OEM. So if Justin vetted Sheildon as the manufacturer on this, I gotta assume he's addressed all that. So I think that by the time this is out of production and going into retail, hopefully everything is all good. But yeah, so that's really all I got to report on this knife right now. Moving that pocket clip down will definitely come in handy, just because I think your thumb wants to naturally rest on there, and it's a little bit of a hot spot. But that's really the only hot spot that I have, despite it not being a very comfortable knife in hand, just because the size of my hand versus the knife, no real hot spots at all. So, although this specific knife might not be for me, based on what I'm seeing here, I don't have any problems recommending it. So if this is checking your boxes, if you're looking for something budgety, $70 and under, that you can use for a light EDC tasks and potentially self-defense, the Scythe is going to be a good option for you. I got no problem recommending this. Be mindful of that tip. Again, I feel that tip will not hold up against really heavy use Don't use this for prying. Might be an issue for some people to sharpen, but you know, other than that, bravo. I think this is a cool knife. I wish I could get it in a little bit bigger version. I'd be much more enthusiastic about it if it were bigger. It's just I don't think it's meant for a dude with big ol' ham fists like I got. But yeah, not a bad offering. And again, under $70 with what you're getting, I think that that's actually a pretty good deal. So that's all I got for you, folks. Let me know what you think. Are you interested in something like this? Do you carry a knife for self-defense? I personally don't. I'm not into trying to get into a hand-to-hand combat. Uh, you know, I'm the type that's going to beat feet, be situationally aware before I get into any sort of situation like that. Um, so as is, not my style of knife, but again, maybe it is for yours. Let me know what you guys think. Uh, Please consider giving this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. You can subscribe right there if you haven't already. And then I'm not sure what that video will pop up to be, but if you haven't checked out that video, please consider doing so. And until the next one, I appreciate you folks tuning in, and I bid you adeuces.